Hello everyone, I'm CrazyToast, and yeah, I'm playing with the M6 today. It's a heavy tank, of course, off the American line. I started playing it right after the E2. I just jumped off the E2 branch of the Sherman E2. And I have to say, I've been reading a lot about it, and a lot of people just don't like it. I understand why. It's a big box, a really tall box. I mean, just look at the size of this thing compared to the IS. I mean, that big. They say to try to go haul down in it, but finding a rock that big is really, really hard to find. The tank itself isn't much of an improvement from the E2. Frontal armor is just about the same. I mean, this thing has 102 millimeters of frontal armor. The E2 had 101, and this is a heavy tank. So I mean, if I the E2, crap. Yeah, so I mean, and this thing has more side armor. It's, 101, 76, and 38. 44 side armor and 41 rear armor. It's not that much better. It's actually a little worse in the armor rating. And then you have the size, the sheer size of this damn thing. The only thing that makes it good is its gun. It's a 90mm. It'll penetrate just about anything in its tier. Medium range, including. One of the things that saved this thing, I think, is you just got to angle it. You just have to angle your tank. There is no way in hell you are going to survive any fights, even to a certain, even the lighter fights with anything of your tier in a heavy tank, unless you angle your armor. This is about the angle you want in order to survive. If you're seeing from the enemy tank, this is about the angle that you want to be at, about 30 degrees. One of the main things that saved this tank, I believe, is the tracks. The tracks are so goddamn big, especially here in the front. A lot of guys will try to aim about right here. Just go for center mass shot. A lot of times it'll hit the track. Yeah, you might lose your track. Your track might be damaged. But it's better to take a shot in the track and take no damage than take a shot to the, armor itself. It's better just to take the shot in the tracks, especially during town fighting. In city fighting, it's a lot better just to take the shots in the track and then just come out, shoot them, and then just back the hell off. It's so funny how big this thing is. I can't stress it enough. It's just hilarious. And the funny thing is, it got into production. Not too much of production, not mainstream production, like we didn't see combat or anything, but we actually did. I was actually looking it up. It actually did make it into production, which was hilarious in my mind. It was considered obsolete before they even put it out in the battlefield, but they did have a few of them. They used them as propaganda purposes, I believe. They used them to roll over tanks and whatnot. Propaganda for the homeland. And that's about it. That's all they really did use it for. Because one of the things that got me was it's an M6. The M designation usually means it entered production. The T's are experimental. Like the T1 Heavy, that was an experimental prototype to this one. And the T's are usually experimental tanks. And yeah, the tank is it's alright. I mean, the gun on itself is not bad. It's a little lacking in damage. I mean, it can do 300 damage, but not very often. You're usually going to get about 150 to maybe 230. That's usually what I see. This is not a frontline brawling tank by no means. This is they call it second row tank. It's basically support. You're not leading a charge. This is a flanking tank, believe it or not. It's basically an oversized medium with a big gun. That's all it is. There's no sense of rushing out in the middle of nowhere. There's no sense of exposing yourself. Just stay back, not too far back, you know, just behind your allies, the other heavy tanks, and just shoot them at long range. Or flank them if you have the chance. Do not rush in to the enemy guns and thinking you're going to live, because, yeah, it might say it's a heavy tank. It's just big. That's all that is to it. You're just a big damn target. A lot of people will just go, hey, zoop, easiest target right there, M6, bam, done. Especially if you come across the IS or a KV-1S. Your KV-1S, that's within the tier. That's what you're going to run into a lot. It's better to hit those things with numbers or hit them at range. Other than that, just don't engage them. You come up on a 1S, a KV-1 Sport, you're gonna be toast pretty damn fast. Hit to the side, you're looking at your HP just getting eaten apart. Your best bet is, if you don't have the engine, well, even if you do have the engine, go haul down, find somewhere, sit. If you can't, angle your armor. You do not want to expose anything above here or anything below here. And it's a nice tank, so we'll let you get on to the replay now.
Decido!